Oh, hey, how's it going? This stuff's good. I don't care what they say. Does coconut oil kill? Oh my gosh! Hey, it's Lance McGowan here, and today I'm gonna react to a little video that was done, and we're gonna find out if this stuff really does kill, or does it help and heal? And you know, it's gonna depend who it's coming from, so we're gonna get into the video without further ado. Let's do it.
Listen up. The American Heart Association recently announced that coconut oil is bad for you. I'm a little angry that it took them this long to tell us. Before I found out, I was so misinformed that I spent years accidentally being healthy from eating coconut oil. I feel like an idiot. But I appreciate the American Heart Association for telling me I was mistaken all this time. You know what? Coconut oil is so terrible for you that even talking about it is bad for your health.
Well, I was just gonna apply some, but maybe not now.
If there's one company whose advice I want to follow when it comes to eating fats, it's the American Heart Association. Under the American Heart Association's watch, it's estimated that 1 out of every 2 Americans will get heart disease in their lifetime. That's like if they were a skydiving instructor and 1 out of every 2 of their students gets a malfunctioning parachute and dies. That's the exact skydiving instructor that I want to take lessons from. I mean, they're a way better instructor than those who have 2 out of every 2 students die. And besides, 1 out of every 2 being taken out, that basically just weeds out the bad students. The French are known for eating high levels of saturated fat, yet they're the country with the lowest rate of heart disease. This just goes to show you one thing. The French are snobs. They just turn their noses up at our American ways. It's so disrespectful. The American Heart Association is American, so don't you dare question their integrity, because nothing corrupt happens in America, especially in the food industry, and really especially when there's big money involved. The American Heart Association earned $774 million in revenue in 2014, and I think it's safe to assume that most of this money is spent on corruption security prevention strategies, which basically means we can trust them blindly. And if you don't think that you can stop thinking for yourself and trust the noble business people at the American Heart Association, then you don't like America. And that would mean you're a terrorist. Hashtag W. Bush. Hashtag what would Bush say? Now there's a little unfair confusion because of the fact that for years the American Heart Association endorsed food products with hydrogenated oils and trans fats with their heart-checked logo. These trans fats are literally the worst thing for your heart. And given that the American Heart Association pretends that they never gave people the worst possible heart advice, means they have enough integrity to act like it never happened. I think that's called the Mandela effect. Because coconut oil obviously wants to kill you, what kind of fats does the American Heart Association recommend? Vegetable oils and margarine. Obviously. I enjoy consuming vegetable oils because they're incredibly unstable and they cause a tremendous amount of inflammation and free radical damage in my cardiovascular system, which is great for me from what I'm told to tell myself. But let me amp it up for you. I'm going to show you the exact science of how vegetable oils are healthy for your heart. I made this diagram myself. Number 1. The U.S. doesn't grow much in the way of coconuts, so there's not much money to be made in the currency of coconuts, given our mostly non-tropical climate. It's raining right now. Number 2, that the U.S. does have untold amounts of farmland that's great for growing corn, soy, and canola. So we do that and have lots of vegetable oils that are made out of grains, not actual vegetables. Which brings us to number 3. The U.S. has lots of money to be made from selling vegetable oils. Number 4, the Soybean Board and the U.S. Canola Association are in the American Heart Association's Nutrition Advisory Panel. Which takes us to number 5. The American Heart Association then altruistically tells everybody that they should buy vegetable oil and not buy its non-domestic competition, coconut oil.
You know what? I don't care what they say. I'm gonna use this oil. Watch.
Number 6. This all equates to vegetable oils are good for your health, coconut oil is bad for your health.
I love this stuff.
And I underline vegetable oils equal healthy twice, so you know it's a fact. Hashtag health science. You've just been schooled, son. Any questions? And now you can conform better to thinking what you're told to think about dietary fats.
Alright, well, after watching that, you can clearly see that when it comes to information, I'm reminded what my mentor, Green Smoothie Girl, told me, because she was a professor, and she said that whenever you hear something from somebody, especially like an article or even like a study or something like that, your organization in this case, thanks American Heart Association, you have to really ask yourself, where's the information coming from? Meaning, is there an agenda behind everything? And who's funding it? Because on the surface you may be like, oh, it's just American Heart Association, no problem, Lance. But that's a nonprofit organization, so they get funding from donors. And who's the donors? Oh, maybe it's the organizations, the corporations, and the companies that don't want this kind of stuff to succeed because it would hurt their profits. And this is organic and raw coconut oil. You can get it from Costco, you know, Sam's Club has it, and more of the bulk size. But yeah, this stuff is amazing. This stuff is so good. And stuff that's natural, organic, especially coconut oil, has so many benefits. Just always ask yourself when you're getting information. I mean, because you know, American Heart Association is like a trusted brand, and you know, or you know, just we have to ask, like, who's funding them, and what's their agenda? You know, what is it? And it's okay to have funding from companies and agendas, but where's the transparency in that? And is the average person watching that, or anybody watching that for that matter, aware of that? So there's a transparency, you know, issue, and then there's also an awareness issue. And those two things, I think, are what make this situation funny, because, you know, JP's, you know, poking fun, but also, you know, taking it a little step further. But also, whenever there's also information from them, they produce articles and stuff, that's really the question you got to ask yourself. And that's for anything, really. Who's funding it? What's their agenda? And if you don't know one of those, then I wouldn't, you know, come to a conclusion that's written in stone. Like, we should come to conclusions slowly and hold on to them loosely, because we can always get more or more accurate information or better information at any point in time. And so that's why coming to conclusions slowly and holding onto them loosely is going to be the key. Alright, well, hopefully this video has been a little bit fun, right? A little lighthearted, but at the same time made us think a little bit, right? Where's this information coming from? What's their agenda? Who's funding it? I know I sound like a broken record, but it's so important. Alright, well, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, hit subscribe for future video updates, and most importantly, check out the links in the description below so you can continue to get your learn on.